This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. We are celebrating an 8-1 win over the Kansas City Royals here on this Saturday evening. Thank you for joining. My name is Luke Slabaugh. I really appreciate you listening or watching here on YouTube. Wherever you may be, Orioles Nation, Birdland, come together. Really appreciate you tuning in. And man, this is more like it. This is exactly what O's fans needed after a 3-game slide and after the horrendous ugliness of that rainy, misty, discombobulated, sloppy game last night against the Kansas City Royals at Kauffman Stadium. My goodness, everything clicked together, and it was a complete win for the Orioles. Final score, 8-1, rubber game tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Masson. Again, my name is Luke Slabaugh. I am here as the post-game host. Connor Newcomb still hosts the daily Locked On Orioles podcast 5 days a week, and I'm here to fill in those gaps, particularly on weekends when Connor spends time with his family, watches the O's, maybe tunes into this show. I don't know how much of me that you all can tolerate, but we're going to get through this win, hopefully through October, through this season into the playoffs. So thank you for listening wherever you get your podcasts for free and for watching on YouTube. I will be here with you all season long, breaking down Orioles post-game reactions. There was a comment actually last night on the YouTube stream that I meant to respond to that compared these shows to group therapy. And after a really frustrating performance last night, it really did feel like you all got your anger out. And I appreciate you leaving comments in the show or leaving comments on iTunes, wherever you get these podcasts. But snapping a 3-game losing streak, huge. The thing that most Orioles fans have complained about early in the season or have been concerned about is the pitching staff. And to this point right now, only Zach Eflin has gone 6 innings and posted a quality start in the Orioles rotation. We know Grayson Rodriguez has some soreness in his right arm, and he's expected to be back later this month. However, it was on Tomoyuki Sugano to redo his major league debut all over again. He was shaken up a bit in the loss to Toronto in the opening series and left with right hand cramps. Didn't even make it through 5 innings. So a little bit of revisionist history here. And his performance today, good. I'll talk about it. First major league dub for Tomoyuki Sugano, and I think that is what we'll be talking about tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I'll take it. And for the first few frames, it seemed like we were going to see a control artist masterclass from the right-hander Tomoyuki Sugano out of Japan. Retired the first 8 batters he faced. And then the baseball gods played some fickle games, gave up a tapper up the middle to the 9-hole hitter Kyle Isbell. But Sugano showed some really good command early, a good pitch mix, the sweeper and the splitter in particular, very effective. Got strikeouts of Vinny Pasquantino in the first inning, MJ Melendez on a low splitter there in the bottom of the third. Really liked what he saw. The final line on Sugano, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, gave up a solo shot to Bobby Witt Jr., hanging breaking ball there in the 6th. 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Again, only Zach Eflin has posted a quality start for the Orioles. Is this a fixable problem moving forward? Well, it's a small sample size. You're looking at a 4-5 team right now. And the outing kind of soured at the end for Sugano. That hanging curveball to Witt gives up a single to Pasquantino and then hits Michael Massey with the pitch. He is pulled for Brian Baker, who ended up really shining the bullpen again. Unexpected shining light here, but good to put a complete game together by this pitching staff. Really enjoyed the right-hander, earning his first major league win. When it comes to the turning point, can point to a couple of 2-out rallies, and I think we all really enjoyed sinking our teeth into the top of the 6th.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Complete effort from the Orioles on offense. Cedric Mullins lays down a nice butt single, and then Ryan Mountcastle singles on a changeup to center field. 2 outs later, we're looking at a 2-0 game right now. Heston Kjerstad lofts one up the middle to center field. Mullins scores, makes it a 3-0 game. Again, All this coming up with 2 outs. A wild pitch later, there's 2 runners in scoring position. Ramon Urias hits a comebacker, goes past the left-hander Sam Long, an infield single. Mountie scores, makes it a 4-0 game. Then Gary Sanchez walks, and then Jackson Holliday sneaks a ground ball up the middle. 2-run score, and Sanchez, the catcher, the backup catcher, goes first to third. Technically, Sanchez is credited in this game with the game-winning hit. He had a 2 RBI single in the second inning. Mountcastle had singled, Tyler O'Neill had walked, and then 2 outs later, again, common theme today, a liner into center field, 2-run score. First hit as an Oriole. I know it had been disconcerting to some Orioles to not see any production out of Sanchez. His first walk in this game I mentioned earlier as an Oriole as well for Gary Sanchez. So I think it was a good move by manager Brandon Hyde to give Sanchez this chance here, this Saturday afternoon game. And aside, Adley Rutschman was probably due for some rest and probably due for a game off. 3 of his last 15, 4 of his last 19, kind of lumbering along. And so it also helped to pair Sanchez with Sugano. We saw he had some jitters in Toronto with Rutschman behind the dish. Not saying that he should be paired with a particular catcher right now, but this early in the season, the stars aligned in a way that this seemed like a good pairing. The veteran Sanchez and Tomoyuki Sugano earning his first major league win. We had mentioned right-hander Brian Baker continues his hot start this season out of the bullpen. How about the 6'6" right-hander, 235 pounds out of Fort Walton Beach? 5 appearances this season for Bake Show, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, and most importantly, no walks. Keegan Aiken also scoreless in the 7th and the 8th, and then Matt Bowman in to close it out, Aiken with 2 strikeouts. So a complete showing. Would like to hear your thoughts in the comments, what you thought of today, how this team has kind of been topsy-turvy, kind of a step forward, a step back, but this was encouraging to see. And they got a rubber game tomorrow to bring home a series win. Anyway, so much more that I want to cover in the second block. There's a lot being published about Heston Kjerstad. I went on a little bit of a rant last night in support of the Orioles' young left fielder. I saw more encouraging signs out of him today, but that is the storyline. These next 2 months are his to claim. And we're also going to award a player of the game. Many options to choose from. I would love to hear your pick. And that is all coming up after this break. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to Supply House for sponsoring this Orioles postcast. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, Supply House is the reliable way to help you get your products ordered online. Website's easy to use, packed with the latest product info, helps you get the job done right. Inventory's got over 200,000 parts, top brands, more than 400 of them, and you're going to find what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, they've got expert support and industry-leading service, and you will always talk to a real person. So if you're looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of pros are already taking advantage of this in the skill trades, and I implore you, it is your turn now. You join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TN. Start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Also, use that promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That is supplyhouse.com. Also getting word of a new sponsor here, and that is the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Elevate your entertainment with the next generation of our best-selling 4K stick with improved streaming performance. And by our, I mean their. Smarter searching starts here. You can find movies by actor, plot, even iconic quotes. You can whisper into it and say, Alexa, show me action movies with car chases. There's a cinematic experience you can watch in vibrant 4K Ultra HD with support for Dolby Vision HDR10+, and immersive Dolby Atmos audio. Endless entertainment. You can stream more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes. You can watch Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, Max, all those subscription fees may apply. And you can stream a lot of fast TV for free. You might even be watching this right now with the Fire TV Stick 4K. So I appreciate Amazon and the Fire TV Stick 4K for sponsoring the show. I do appreciate it. That's what we do on the show. We wing it. The ad copy says Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K, and you go, whatever. Speaking of fire, these next 2 months are going to be indispensable for Heston Kjerstad, and I have seen a really good approach from him at the plate through these first few games. In particular, off-speed pitches, even against left-handers, keeping his hands back. This is exactly the type of approach you want to see out of a 26-year-old who's still trying to find his way through the bigs. And yet, I'm seeing some posts. There was some blog last night that was raising concern about his start. Small sample size for sure, but through these games, he's hitting over 300. He's under team control through 2030. You have plenty of time to make this work. He is ARB eligible in 2028. But even still today, going up against Michael Wacha, a reverse split guy, really enjoyed his approach at the plate. When Sam Long gets put in, another lefty, there's 2 outs on the top of the 6th. First pitch swinging, unfazed, lofts it into shallow center, brings home Cedric Mullins. So again, I implore you, the zips and the steamer projections say a lot about the industry optimism around Heston Kjerstad. This is the time to make yourself indispensable, to make Orioles fans and Mike Elias in the front office not want to let you go. I got faith. First round pick, SEC product, corner outfielder, profiles really well out of the University of Arkansas. Another good day for Heston Kjerstad. He finishes 1 for 5 with an RBI. Want to pivot to tonight's player of the game. Who'd you think it was? I'll tell you.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Jackson Holliday has arrived. And I feel like I haven't talked about him enough through these first few games. But again, a guy given some thump at the bottom of the order, hitting over 300. This was his 3rd multi-hit game of the season already. And we are 9 games into this bad boy. So 2025, off to a good start from the number 1 overall pick from 2022. He finishes 3 of 4 with an RBI triple and a 2-run single. Is that right? Yes. Jackson Holliday, incredible performance. He's got some pop, 5-tool player. Great to see out of the number 1 overall pick from 3 years ago. But also, this was tied with Tyler O'Neill. Picked himself up and picked his teammates up after last night's display. Pulled up short on a couple of line drives he might not have seen in the lights. He finishes a pretty good showing. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a walk. First triple for Tyler O'Neill in 3 years. More inspired defensively, had some good running catches in the bottom of the 8th, good line out that Salvador Perez hit out the bat, a 2 RBI triple for Tyler O'Neill. Jackson Holliday's was a sliding triple, did not drive anyone in. My apologies on that. As we move forward, rubber game tomorrow. Left-hander Cade Jackie Povich going up against Chris Bubich. 2-10 first pitch on Masson. Povich, mixed bag in the home opener, the win over the Red Sox, but 4 1/3, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts to 2 walks. Not economical with his pitches or as much as you would have hoped out of the young left-hander, but the stuff is there. Bubich, interesting profile. Reinvented himself as a reliever last season after bottoming out in 2022, had a 3-13 campaign, ERA in the mid to high 5s, was injured for pretty much all of 2023. Last year comes back as a reliever and really shoves. 2.67 ERA, 27 games, 30 innings, and he's won his only start this year up in Milwaukee, 6 scoreless frames. So that's a 2-10 first pitch on Masson. I will be there. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Locked On Orioles postcast. My name is Luke Slaybaugh. Again, I am here after every Orioles game to break down the instant reaction, fill in the gaps between my part of the show and Connor Newcomb's part of the show. Again, he is here 5 days a week, giving you the Orioles postcast you know and love. Really appreciate you taking out of time on your Saturday evening. Again, the final score, Orioles 8, Royals 1. I want to thank you again for watching and listening on the Locked On Podcast Network.